What's up, guys? In today's video, we are going to talk about everything phones for restoration companies. Guys, when you start your restoration company, running calls to your cell phone may work, but as you grow over the years, you're going to need something more sophisticated. In this video, I'm going to walk you from when you start to what does it look like when you've got a $2 million company. Guys, I'm going to show you the software that we used at our company, how you can use automation, text messages, and robots to help you answer the phone. And I'm going to show you a case today where this software that we use actually allowed us to make an extra $14,000. We're going to break it all down today. Let's go. All right, guys, so as we get started, here's what I want you to know. First off, when you start your company, you're probably just going to send the calls directly to your cell phone. That's probably what most people do, is what I did as well. After that, over time, you're going to wind up setting up a Google My Business, and then you're going to get some business cards, and then you may look at getting some t-shirts made, and you may get a truck wrap, and this is where you're starting, am I going to want to put my cell phone number everywhere? And my answer to you is no, because you don't need to be wrapping your truck. You don't need to be doing all that stuff until you've come and talked to me first, because I'm going to help you work through these decisions, okay? So, first off, when you get started in the early days, you can just simply put your cell phone number on your Google My Business page and just leave it there. Most likely, you ain't gonna get any calls off of your GMB anyway, because if you're small enough to where your cell phone number's on there, you probably just don't know what you're doing from a marketing standpoint, and you're just probably not getting very many calls. Eventually, you're gonna get a little bit bigger, and you're gonna need something where you want someone else to help you answer the phone, because once you start getting jobs coming in the door, you're gonna need some help answering the phones. How do I know? Because you're gonna start getting calls from internet lead providers, and you can't be on 2 phone calls at once, okay? If these things ring over 3 times, you're on the hook for that call, baby. So you got to have other people helping you answer the phone, all right? So early off in the early days, you can send the calls directly to your cell phone. But then eventually, you're probably going to want to get what we call a VoIP number, voice over internet provider. This software that I'll show you here in a minute, we can actually get you a tracking number. You will put that tracking number on Google My Business or on your website or whatever that thing is that you've got it listed, okay? And then calls come in to that tracking number, and then you forward them from that tracking number to your cell phone. Why do you do that? Because now you've got a way that you can listen to the call recordings, okay? And now using the software, you'll be able to text the customers as well. Now, this stuff wasn't available when I started my restoration company, but over the years, software and technology evolved. I think in the beginning, we used phone.com or Ring Central, or I don't know, a lot of people use Grasshopper. You don't even need to use those these days. You really don't even need to use those. This software that we use prevents you from using that. It's just cheaper. When you do get a little bit fancier, you're going to want to use the software, and I'll show you the one that we did, but it allowed us to eventually start recording phone calls, because adjusters will lie to you, and you want to be able to hear what they said on the phone, and then you want to be able to hear the phone calls to and from your customers from your team, okay? So eventually, you're going to want your office coordinator or your office manager or somebody else to take those calls. You want to have a way to go back and listen to those calls, because the minute you as the owner get off the phone, you're probably going to find they're doing a really bad job of answering the phone. It takes a lot of practice, guys. It takes a lot of practice. So I'm going to share my screen here in a second, and I want you to know this. Eventually, when you start using software to run your company, guys, you want to get the calls recorded, you want to have two-way texting, and then you want to be able to have a robot where you can send some missed calls. So this one just shows you how we had this robot put in place. So this guy shows you kind of how this thing works, okay? And if you guys want to know more about the software, go to workwithshane.com. We actually give it to our clients for free if they're working with us. Go to workwithshane.com and it'll show it to you. So this shows you here that at 3:14, we got an inbound call, and I was going to let you listen to it, but it's not working right now. I don't know what happened, but we'll break down the call here in just a minute anyway, okay? Because I already made all the notes for it. But this shows you that a call comes in, things are going to happen, whether you're on the other line, you're in the bathroom, taking a shower. Granted, this is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? But there's going to be cases where you can't get over fast enough. I'm just showing you that's going to happen, and then we can build this robot, and this is what we did, where it said, sorry, I think I hung up on accident. Do you have a leak? So we missed the call right here. Robot replies, and then here's what they say. Well, not an urgent one. I left you a voicemail. Thanks a lot, Becky Russell. And guys, when they say I don't have a big leak, that's typically they probably got a pretty good leak, okay? And I'm just telling you, we've done this over and over again to where I will see people reply and they'll say, oh yeah, and it's a big one. So I'm just telling you, people like to text. This is an automated missed call text back that we put in there, and we can set this thing up to where it calls a backup supervisor too. So if a call comes in and one of your team members miss it, I can send you, the owner, a text message, or your backup person text message. These are software things that you can deploy. I'm just showing you that this is what it looks like and it works. So here you can see at 3:24, for just 10 minutes later, I called them back and then I landed the job. Here's what I want you to know. It was a 13-minute call. That's about what it takes to complete the customer intake form, okay, at least based on us. But I'm gonna break down kind of how this call went through as well, okay? I called Ms. Russell back. We all miss phone calls. Customers respond to text messages. Automation can land you more jobs, okay? And good questions are always the key to understanding the situation. So in the beginning, the first minute and 8 seconds, I just say, thank you for calling Acme Restoration. This is Shane. How can I help you? And then I get an additional point of contact, and then I notice that they have different last names. I always get 2 points of contact. Who am I speaking with? And then what's the other person's point of contact name? Because they may not be married, and you need to make sure you know who owns the home. Pro tip, those things matter. Just get everybody's name that you're talking to, and if we get disconnected, what's your name, what's your phone number, what's another point of contact? Do you have a spouse, someone live with you, someone else own the home, and then that's how we answer that, okay? So notice the customer gives us their details on their home and their history. So I think in this situation, she told us that there was a leak or something, or there was a similar problem upstairs. Anytime someone says there was a similar problem upstairs, here's what I said to them in return. I wanted to know what happened upstairs. Why does that matter? Because I want to know, what did they do? Did they file a claim or not? How did they handle it? And why does that matter? Because that is going to tell you a little bit about how are they expecting this conversation to go, okay? So, and not only that, but if so, who do they use? If they use somebody else, why are they not calling them now? This is a really important thing, guys. This was me answering the phone, and that's the reason why I injected this. I guarantee you my team wouldn't have done it this way. But you need to notice this. If they had a similar thing upstairs, find out what happened upstairs. So I think of this situation because we had a shower leak. Okay, cool. She's like, I had something like this happen upstairs before. Okay, cool. What happened upstairs? When did that happen? All right, and did y'all dry that out properly? Cool, who'd you use? And like, these are the questions that I would ask. Why? Because if they're not calling them back, they're calling us, they could have had a bad experience. There's any number of things that could have happened. You need to find out why they didn't call them back. Maybe it wasn't an insurance claim last time. Did they file a claim on the last time? If so, how did it happen? Was it good? Was it bad? Was there a big balance? What are they expecting in terms of an estimate or an invoice? These are helpful things, guys. It's always good for you to know what's going to happen before you go offering your price. So then she goes in to tell me at the 2-minute mark, the last incident was 5 years ago. And then at 3:29, I asked them, was it a cash pay or not? Knowing that they cash paid before. Okay, so it looks like they did a cash pay before. And it's very important. Did you file a claim or did you guys do a cash job? And then knowing they did a cash before, I want to know if they're wanting to do this one with insurance or not. We don't want them to call their agent. If the agent gets called before you get out there, they're going to send somebody else out there. So if you notice I say that, if there's a chance that they're going to call the agent, you don't need to mention insurance, okay? If there's any chance of that. And I think that's the point I'm saying here. If you're going to ask them, was it a cash pay or an insurance job, you need to be aware that they may not have thought insurance till now. The minute you mention insurance, you got to get your butt out there immediately, okay? If the customer calls their agent and you didn't get this call from the agent, they will send out a green truck. I wrote this a long time ago. And that is true. I mean, that's just simply true. And so you don't want them to call their agent. And here's the reason why too. You don't want the agent to be alerted. They haven't called the agent, they're calling you, okay? So just make sure you get out there and do a good job. 4-minute mark, I explain what we can do. I explain about me. They tell me the carrier is USAA. And it's important to know, are they in love with their agent or their carrier? And this is where I go back to insurance Jesus. So they're like, oh no, we've got USAA. You need to know if they think their carrier is God or not, okay? Because you definitely don't want to try and paint the carrier in a bad light if they love the carrier. You don't want to do that. So you just want to know, how do they feel about their carrier, and just mirror that. You just need to know, is it a love or hate relationship? And just put that in your pocket for now, okay? If they love their agent or their carrier, these people are going to need to follow you and your lead more than the agent, more than the carrier, because at the end of the day, you're going to make recommendations and you need them to follow your lead, not the agent, not the carrier. Are we clear? You need to know, do they love them? If they do, you're going to have to build a bigger, deeper, stronger bond with that customer so that they would listen to you without calling their agent, without calling their carrier. So what I tell them at the 6-minute mark, this is what happens next. We come out, they sign, and we get them an estimate summary. So guys, this is also what we do. I use an analogy a lot of an emergency room, okay? And so I'll do another training on that, but I'm just saying, you want them to know what is next when you come out there. We come out, We get you guys signed up on a work authorization, and then I will get you a fully detailed scope summary of what it's going to be so I can get it to your carrier. Now, granted, I told them this over the phone, but I've also been doing this a long time. I would not advise you to tell them that. I would tell you to get out there, and then you have that part of the conversation right away. I had pegged this one at $6,000 to $9,000, wound up being about $14,000. So hopefully that's helpful walking you through that. If you miss a call, the intake's about a 13-minute conversation. If you have things in place where you can do missed call text back, you will get jobs, guys. I don't know, we probably got 2 jobs a month from missed call text back, probably 2 a month. And I'm just saying it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for you. You wanna be able to monitor and measure these things, and these things are not that expensive. You can get some of these softwares for under $600 a month, okay? You will capture a job a month from this stuff. And what's a job worth? 10 grand, 14 grand, 5 grand? I mean, money is not an issue. Money is not an issue. Missing the call is. Guys, in this business, if you miss a call, it can be a $50,000 call, especially at 2 a.m. Because you can build additional robots to where after you send the missed call text back at 2 a.m., if they reply one way or the other, then you know you've got the fish on the line, okay? If you're getting to where you're starting to grow, you need to give me a call. Go to workwithshane.com. We can get on a call and talk. But just know this, there are things that you can do from a phone software perspective, but you want to make sure that you've got call recording, two-way texting, missed call text back. If not, I don't know, 50, 80 grand a year at the very least is probably what you're leaving on the table. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, I've got 3 things for you. Number 1, if you haven't yet, click on my face below and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, we put out new content each and every week. Also, if you want me to help you grow your company, go to workwithshane.com. Workwithshane.com, put in your information, we get on a call and see how we can help you grow your company. Lastly, there'll be some other videos right here. If you want to watch more content about growing your restoration company, check out one of these videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.